Hope you're doing well. Today we will talk about French accents and how to use them as well. And if it's your first time on my channel, please subscribe and activate the notifications. It will help. So, accents of signs place double vowels to indicate a change in their pronunciation. And in French, we distinguish 4 different accents: the accent aigu, accent grave, accent circonflexe, and the tremor. And as I mentioned in the last video, French alphabet has 6 vowels: A, E, I, O, U, and Y. Y can both be, and except Y, all others can take an accent, right? Let's go. First, accent aigu. Only the E can take it. And we read E accent aigu. It sounds like the A in the phonetic transcription of the word Maine. One of the 50 states of America, right? Now, when do we put accent aigu on E? Rule number 1. If you hear the A sound, and that E is the last letter of the word, of the syllable, then use accent aigu. Otherwise, don't. It is the same with E preceding a double consonant, because the syllable is cut between those 2 consonants, right? For example, effort, effort. 2 syllables. And we notice here that in if, E is not the last letter of the syllable. Reason why it is not accented. Example 2. Célébrité. 4 syllables. And in C, L, and D, is the last letter of those syllables. Reason why it is accented, right? Rule number 2. When A is at the end, when the A sound is at the end of the word, we have 2 cases or 2 options. Option 1. E is the absolute final letter of the word. After that E, there is nothing else. For example, un homme s'est abonné à ma chaîne YouTube. A man subscribed to my YouTube channel. We notice here that in the word abonné, E is the absolute final letter of the word. Reason why it is accented. And note, abonné here is the past participle of the verb abonné, subscribe. And the subject man here is masculine, so we don't have to add égé. Another example is canapé. The last letter E is also the last letter of the absolute final letter of this word. Reason why it is also accented. Option 2. The second option is when, in addition to being the absolute final letter of the word, E is also followed by another E. And this way, the first E will be accented, but the second one not accented and not pronounced or mute. So it will be a mute E, and not to be confused with E in effort, which is not accented just because of French rules, right? But it is pronounced. Example. Une femme s'est abonnée à ma chaîne YouTube. A woman subscribed to my YouTube channel. We notice that E is the absolute letter of that word. The absolute final letter of that word. And that E is also followed by another E. And the rule says that we should accent the first E, but the second one will not be accented and not pronounced or mute, right? It is same with words ending in E ES and EES in their plural form, right? And abonné here, the subject here is feminine, right? Reason why we add eme. Example, the masculine plural of abonné is abonné with S. The feminine plural of abonné is abonné with eme-s. So we add eme-s. Canapé is a masculine noun, and its plural form is canapé with S. Right? Rule number 3. Never use accent aigu. I mean the acute accent. Accent aigu is acute accent. So never use accent aigu when the vowel the vowel precedes the final Z, R, F, D, and T of a word. For example, la clé, the clef, or the key. Another example is chez, to. For example, I'm going to my mother. Je vais chez ma mère. Rule number 4. The letter E is not accented when it precedes the letter Z, the letter X. So, no E sound, no E sound, and no E sound. For example, reflex and complex. No accent, right? Note, use those rules only when you hear the E sound, right? The next one is accent grave. A, E, and U can take it. Used on A, we read A accent grave or A preposition. It is a preposition. For example, je vais à l'école. I'm going to school. Used on E, we read E accent grave, and it has the S sound. It has the S sound, just like in the phonetic transcription of the word get, the verb to get. Example, remède. Remède. Now, we do use accent aigu, we do use accent grave on E when the S sound precedes the consonant and itself follows the the schwa sound, right? Otherwise, use accent aigu. And that is because sometimes the A and E sound the same, right? And we can easily get the bad sound. If so, rules will help us, right?